Hey there, space enthusiast. Let's dive into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, but is actually becoming a very real topic in modern defense and technology. Directed energy weapons, DEWs, in space. Specifically, we're going to talk about how lasers stack up against satellites in this high-stakes game of cosmic strategy. Spoiler alert, it's not just about pew-pew lasers. It's about power, precision, and protecting our orbital backyard. First things first, what are directed energy weapons? Before we jump into the nitty-gritty, let's break it down. Directed energy weapons are systems that use concentrated energy, like lasers, microwaves, or particle beams, to damage or disable targets. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons, think missiles or bullets, DEWs don't physically hit their target. Instead, they deliver energy so intense that it can fry electronics, blind sensors, or even vaporize materials. Now imagine these weapons being deployed in space. Suddenly, you've got a whole new battlefield where nations aren't just competing for resources on Earth. They're vying for control over who gets to dominate the ultimate high ground, outer space. The players, lasers versus satellites. When we talk about DEWs in space, two main players come to mind: lasers and satellites. Both have unique strengths and weaknesses, and understanding their roles will help us figure out which one might hold the upper hand, or if they'll need to work together. Let's start with lasers because, well, they're cool. Imagine a weapon that travels at the speed of light, hits its mark instantly, and doesn't require any ammunition beyond power. That's what makes space-based lasers such an attractive option for military applications. Here's why. Speed and accuracy. At 2,999,92 kilometers per second, that's the speed of light, folks. Lasers leave almost no time for evasion. Need to disable an enemy satellite? Zap. Want to intercept an incoming missile? Boom. Done. Stealthy destruction. Unlike explosions or projectiles, lasers leave little evidence behind. There's no debris trail, no fiery blast, just a silent, invisible beam doing its job. This makes them ideal for covert operations. Cost efficiency. Once built, lasers only need a power source to operate. No expensive ammo, no supply chains, just plug-and-play destruction. But here's the catch. Lasers aren't perfect. They lose effectiveness over long distances due to atmospheric interference, if fired from Earth, or dispersion in space. Plus, powering them requires serious juice, especially in orbit where solar panels are your best friend, and sometimes not enough. On the flip side, we've got satellites, the unsung heroes of space dominance. While they may not sound as flashy as lasers, satellites play a crucial role in both offense and defense. Think of them as the eyes, ears, and brains of space warfare. Surveillance and targeting. Satellites equipped with advanced sensors can track objects in space with incredible accuracy. Whether it's monitoring enemy spacecraft or guiding DEW strikes, they're indispensable for situational awareness. Communication hubs. In today's interconnected world, satellites are lifelines for communication, navigation, and data transfer. Taking out an adversary's satellites could cripple their ability to coordinate attacks or gather intel. Weaponization potential. Some satellites themselves can be armed with DEWs, turning them into mobile battle stations. Picture a satellite firing a laser at another satellite, or worse, targeting ground-based infrastructure. However, satellites have vulnerabilities too. They're sitting ducks in orbit, easy prey for anti-satellite weapons, ASATs, or cyber attacks. And once they're gone, replacing them isn't cheap or quick. So, who wins in this showdown between lasers and satellites? It depends on the mission. If you need quick surgical strikes, lasers take the crown. Their speed and precision make them perfect for neutralizing threats without collateral damage. If you need strategic control, satellites shine here. They provide the intelligence and communication backbone needed for sustained operations. But honestly, the future probably won't be lasers versus satellites. It'll be lasers and satellites working together. Think about it. Satellites act as spotters, feeding targeting data to laser-equipped platforms that deliver the knockout blow. Together, they form a formidable tag team capable of dominating space warfare. You might be wondering, why should I care about space weapons when I'm stuck paying rent on Earth? Great question. Here's why. Space militarization is already happening. Countries like the US, China, Russia, and others are actively developing and testing DWs for space. The lines between civilian and military uses of space tech are blurring fast. The threat of space debris. Every destroyed satellite adds to the growing problem of space junk. A single collision can create thousands of pieces of debris, endangering everything from the International Space Station to commercial satellites. Global security implications. Space-based weapons could escalate conflicts on Earth by targeting critical infrastructure like GPS systems, weather forecasting tools, or financial networks, all of which rely heavily on satellites. Ethical questions. Should we really be turning space into a war zone? Or should humanity strive to keep it a peaceful frontier for exploration and discovery? Directed energy weapons in space represent a double-edged sword. On one hand, they offer unparalleled capabilities for defense and deterrence. On the other hand, they raise serious concerns about arms races, environmental impact, and the militarization of space. As we move forward, it's crucial to strike a balance between innovation and responsibility. Treaties like the Outer Space Treaty of 1967 were groundbreaking at the time, but they weren't designed with DUs in mind. Updating international laws to address these emerging technologies is essential if we want to avoid turning the cosmos into a battleground. What do you think about all this? Are directed energy weapons in space a necessary evil, or should we draw a hard line against weaponizing the final frontier? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars, and maybe crossing your fingers that we don't turn them into laser pointers.